Have you ever stormed out of a meeting in a moment of anger only to regret it later? Or accepted that job offer in the wave of excitement without thinking through the potential downsides? Maybe you said something harsh to someone in the heat of the moment and later wish you hadn't. If any of this sounds familiar, you probably experience what's known as emotional hijacking. But what exactly does that mean? My name is David Campaña, and this is a Sound Objectivity podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about the emotional hijack, how feelings can sabotage our choices, and more importantly, how can we prevent our emotions from sabotaging our choices in both our career and personal lives. Let's talk about the science behind emotional decision making. We'll then talk about an emotional hijack and the impacts that it has. Lastly, we'll equip you with tools to become a master of your emotions, not the victim. Let's get started. Our emotions embody an astonishingly intricate architecture consisting of two separate but yet dynamically interconnected systems that process information. The rational, logical thinking brain, this is what we call the prefrontal cortex, and the emotional receiving feeling brain, this is what we call the amygdala. Picture these systems as two distinct advisors perpetually competing for your attention, collaborating to ensure you make the best choices in any given situation. Let's dive a little deeper. The thinking brain is responsible for tasks such as evaluating, prioritizing, and making informed decisions. It acts as the cognitive powerhouse that sifts through the data, assesses all the options, and calculates potential outcomes, all for the sake of guiding you towards the most rational course of action. This specialized system prides itself on logic, reason, and calculated decisions. On the other hand, the amygdala, or your feeling brain, unabashedly indulges in raw emotion and instinct. It plays a critical role on how we react and experience feelings. These emotional cues and gut instincts steer us. This innate system taps into our inherent survival instincts, providing us with valuable insight and quick reactions when faced with situations that resonate on a deeply personal or emotional level. Now, in ideal scenarios, the thinking and feeling brain work harmoniously, expertly blending logic and emotion to empower us. When synergetically operating, both systems offer differing perspectives to ensure we benefit from a well-rounded and comprehensive decision-making process. The thinking brain equips us with well-thought-out strategies, while the feeling brain acts as an invaluable layer of intuition, empathy, understanding that data fails to deliver. When we're under stress, pressure, or fatigue, our brain's amygdala can take over the decision-making process. This surge in activity releases hormones like adrenaline, which can shut down our ability to think clearly and rationally. As a result, we might react impulsively, driven by emotions like fear, anger, or excitement. This is what's known as emotional hijacking. This can lead to poor decisions with negative consequences. Being able to recognize these signs of an emotional hijack is key in regaining control and making decisions with a clear mind. The consequences of emotional hijacking can ripple through both your professional and personal life, leaving a trail of unintended damage. In the fast-paced world of work, a rash decision made in the heat of the moment can fracture trust with a colleague or derail a promising promotion opportunity. Imagine sending a scathing email to your boss during a heated argument. This you'll surely deeply regret. Similarly, emotional hijacking can damage friendships. A misinterpreted comment from a friend might trigger feelings of betrayal, leading to a hasty accusations or worse, a complete withdrawal from the friendship. These impulsive reactions, fueled by unprocessed emotions, can and will cause unnecessary conflict and distance. So how can you manage your emotions and make confident choices in the face of strong feelings? Here are 3 key strategies. The first is, in order to manage your emotions, you first have to be self-aware. Self-awareness is the conscious understanding of one's own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and how they align or diverge from your values and intentions. Now, this is easier said than done for many, and this takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes commitment to be fully self-aware. Do you know what situations typically trigger strong emotional responses from you? Is it public speaking? Maybe it's tight deadlines. Maybe sometimes it's receiving critical feedback. Maybe it's a person. Once you identify your emotional triggers, you can then anticipate their potential impact and develop a coping mechanism. For example, if public speaking triggers anxiety, practice the speech in front of another person beforehand. This could help you relax and not have an emotional hijacking event. For those that have experienced it, we know that emotional hijack happens fast. The surge of anger, a flash of excitement, and before you know it, you blurted something out or made a hasty decision. The key to retaining control is to create space between the stimulus, whatever triggered you, and your actual response. This pause allows your thinking brain to catch up with your feeling brain. Develop a personal pause button. Take a deep breath, count to 10 as I tell my autistic son, or excuse yourself to the restroom. These few extra seconds can make a world of difference. And lastly, after creating some space, you may still have strong emotions. Here's where reframing has to come in. Reframing involves consciously changing the way you interpret the situation. Ask yourself, what's another way to look at this? As you all know, one of my favorite words is perspective, which is take a different look at the current situation. Perhaps a challenging deadline can be seen as an opportunity for growth, or a critical remark as a chance to improve. Reframing empowers you to choose how you respond to the situation rather than letting the emotions dictate your actions. Making informed decisions, not emotional ones, is the key to navigating your career and life with confidence. By understanding the science behind emotional hijacking and implementing these key strategies, you can become the master of your emotions, and again, not the victim. Remember, emotions are powerful, but so are you. The power to choose wisely lies within your grasp. You have been listening to the Emotional Hijack, how feelings can sabotage your choices. My name is David Campaña, and you've been listening to the Sound Objectivity Podcast. Please reach me at www.soundobjectivity.com, where you can read more information on this topic and other topics on the blog. Thank you for your time and attentive ear. Until next time.